guys, Ivan here. Let's start the engine. So, welcome on board of the Mercedes AMG GLE 53 Coupé. And why I'm shooting this video is that I really think this is an underrated vehicle. So I would like to give this another shot to test how this vehicle behaves once again. So essentially we'll go uphill and we'll try this vehicle. So we have inline 6-cylinder engine with turbo, single turbo, and also EQ boost, which is ISG integrated starter generator. And we have 435 horsepower and 520 Newton meters of torque. So from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, this car can sprint in only 5.2 seconds. And the top speed is 250 kilometers per hour. So this car is pretty fast. The acceleration is actually the same as with the SUV. Let's start in a comfort mode. So here we are in Mountain Pass. As you can see, we have very nice weather. The fall already started here, and this car is now on fresh winter tires. The season is coming, so they have scheduled the changing of the tires for the winter tires. So we will go with winter tires and see what we can get from the car. So you can see this car had immediate response from the pedal shifters, and we are in comfort mode. Also, the sound is pretty good. For being in comfort mode. Now if we go into sport mode, the RPMs will be much more high. Also, the steering gets a little bit heavier, and the car is better sitting in the corners. You can also hear that the car is more loud. If we open here the sunroof, we can hear it. And if we go into the Sport Plus, which here in this car is the most sporty mode, you will get also the crackles. I would say that I would use personally a little bit heavier steering. But overall, for this kind of vehicle, being the entry-level GLE, this is plenty of power. And also the steering is fine for this entry-level GLE. So this car is no slouch. It's not very fast, actually, with comparison with other AMGs. This is now the slowest one on offer. It's a little bit slower than the 35 models, and overall we can say this is the slowest in terms of the 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. But overall we cannot say that this is some kind of slow car. So we have here the AMG SpeedShift TCT 9G gearbox. So the torque converter We can leave this on auto now. So the torque converter has smoother shifts than double clutch gearbox, but also the shifts itself, if you change gear, they are not as prominent, they are not as brutal as with double clutch. So this is more suited for as a luxury gearbox, we can say. Overall, this car has remarkable versatility, because we have on one hand we have family car, which if you go back with this dial on the steering wheel, if you go back into the comfort mode, we have quite comfortable car. Obviously not as comfortable as Mercedes-Benz GLE, but comfortable enough so you can daily drive this car without any issue. The pedals feel very nice and comfortable, and overall feeling of the car is that it's very comfortable and daily usable. Obviously with some, you know, with some taste of performance, because you cannot just have the same level of the comfort if you have a performance vehicle. That's just not really possible, but it's very close to that. So you can daily drive, you can turn on this turning here and the car will go by itself. You can set the level, the distance with the vehicle in front of you, and basically you can drive normally, listen to the music, Apple CarPlay, and this will be just an amazing companion for everyday driving, also long distance driving. Also with this kind of inline 6-cylinder engine, we have amazing fuel consumption. So fuel consumption is really good in all aspects. Also if you are daily driving, if you have a sporty driving as well, the consumption is not as high as, for example, with the V8, and the overall feeling of this car is great in terms of the fuel consumption, considering all aspects of this car. You can go also into the Sport Plus and drive it like normally, then you would have RPMs going more up, and then the car will shift, and we can say normal drive will be a little bit more emotional. Also, when you are in sport mode, here with this button on the steering wheel, you can change the suspension level from Sport Plus. We have 3 levels: Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. So you can change it. Now automatically with Sport Plus comes the Sport Plus suspension setting, but here we can change it to Comfort. So right now you have everything in terms of the powertrain and gearbox in the most aggressive way in Sport Plus, but the suspension here, the AMG Ride Control air suspension, is here now in Comfort mode. And you can hear probably we have now some patches of not very good tarmac, but in Comfort you don't really feel it as much as in Sport Plus. So it's a very noticeable difference. So in some cars there is not a big difference if you change the comfort of the suspension from Comfort to Sport. There is like not really a big difference, but in this car there is quite a big difference. Also, if you plan to sporty, like curving these corners, then it's better to have a Sport Plus, because the car will be more stable in the corners. It doesn't like sit bad with Comfort suspension. It's just you will have more confidence if you have Sport Plus suspension. That's for sure. All right, so let's start. Full consumption for today is 20.5 liters. Obviously, that's including this mountain pass active driving. So that's for this kind of driving is not a lot. Usually, if you drive normally, you will get a lower fuel consumption, definitely. So yeah, you will get around 10 liters. You can count on this number outside of the city. You can even go lower if you don't really overtake a lot. You can go as low as 8.5 liters, and on the highway you will get around 10 liters as well with 9G Tronic.